Aloha, beautiful souls, and welcome to another transformational reading with Rian. And in today's reading, we are going to be looking at what's up next in your career. All right, so let's take a deep breath in together to ground our energies for the group readings. Deep breath in and exhale out. Yes, and one more time. Deep breath in and exhale out. Beautiful. Now let's see what our collective reading is to get us all started. Flicker. New rhythms are coming into your life now. You are encouraged to trust and adapt. Oh my gosh, this actually came out in another reading not that long ago. I think I just filmed it like yesterday or the day before. But looks like career, there's going to be some changes happening here. We'll have to see if some of these changes are, pretty easy to work with, or some are going to be a little bit challenging. So let's get into your readings and find out, okay? So we're going to start with group number 1. Alrighty, group number 1. Hello, hello, and welcome to find out what is next in your career. I'm to put on my bracelet. I totally forgot to do this beforehand. So we have here financial constraints is the opening card. So sounds like this very well could be a little bit more of a challenging time ahead where when it comes to your career, money is going to be a little bit tight. And if you are an entrepreneur, business owner, then money is going to be a little bit tight coming in. So I'm already getting the messages that it's important for you to focus really on what you need and not being overindulgent when it comes to expenses. It seems like what's next is not really a time for you to splurge and treat yourself. But let's see what other information we can glean to help you navigate this time a little bit more smoothly, all right? So we have harvests. As the waves of the ocean are infinite, as the trees in the forest grow tall, let my work now bring me to harvest. I am ready to receive my all. Okay, so what I'm actually hearing here is as with most things in life, right, there's this cycle of ebbing and flowing, of like, of wealth and riches and a little bit more like poverty or loss, right? Like that's just how it is with money. You make money, you lose money. You make money, you lose money, right? It's just that's that cycle. Most of us, we prefer to be more on the end of making money and having like a positive net worth rather than being in the red, right? Being like negative. Thankfully, I don't see that anything as bad as going in the red or being a negative is coming your way. But what I'm seeing here is this period that's coming up is more a period of working hard so that later on you can reap the benefits. That's what I'm feeling with this energy here, is that this is not really a time to make a lot of unnecessary expenditures. It's a time to just kind of like hold whatever money you have and then focus on like building the wealth moving forward for the next set period of time. Does that make sense? So you know how like just in general, we save our money and then we splurge on like a vacation or on a big item, right? Like buying a house, buying a car. So we save, 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 we work hard, and then we spend this large sum of money. So I feel like you're in that phase now. It's like save, 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 work real hard, because there's gonna come an opportunity for you to spend whatever it is that you are able to accumulate. And I feel like what's happening here is the harder you work, the greater the benefits in this certain cycle, right? I feel like the gains will be exponential, not like a one-to-one. So it's like work 1 hour, get paid a set amount. Like I don't feel like it's so much like that. I feel like the gains can be a lot better. It can be, like in social media when a video goes viral, right? It's just like the sudden explosion of views. And so I feel like that's the case here with the business. So what I'm feeling here is that might be helpful for you to kind of plan, like For some of you, if you don't own your own business or anything like that, it could be like saving some of your vacation time, right? If there's some opportunity for you to work overtime, then take it, okay? It may be one of those times where you have to push yourself a little bit harder. Trust me, I get that feeling because I'll be leaving for a vacation. And so right now I'm trying to push myself harder to film like ahead for like a month's worth of content. So I feel you. Overtime and doing extra work can be a bit taxing, right? But it will be worth it, okay? Because then you'll be able to relax for a bit and just kind of like enjoy the success. So I get the sense here, like not using any vacation time. I mean, if you get sick, you get sick. Like you can't really avoid that. So of course, rest if you get sick with a cold or something like that. But otherwise, go ahead and focus on your work and focus on getting some overtime, save your vacation time for now because it will all pay off in the end. Now, for those of you that are business owners, I'm hearing that it might be a good idea to look at your inventory and what you offer people and see if there's ways in which you could increase the output, or look at ways in which you can market your products better or get your content, your products in front of a wider audience. It's going to take a little extra time and work and strategy, but it will be worth it in the end because I get a sense you're going to have really great sales. Okay, again, it's this harvest. So the harvest isn't happening quite yet, but it will be happening in the future once you've passed this period of hard work. We have lobster, financial pinch. There you go. How fortuitous is that? Like when I shuffle these cards, like, and there are a lot of them, like trust, look at how big this deck is. There's, when I shuffle these cards to kind of get them all prepared for the reading, I do not see what's coming out until, you know, we look at the rest of the cards together, minus the one I show in the beginning. But this really just kind of, solidifies what we were talking about. The other thing here is I'm looking at the lobster shell, and this is reminding you to be tough, be very hardy, be very resilient, okay? Like when it comes time to really do a little bit of overtime, work a little bit harder. Again, I get it. It's not what everybody looks forward to doing. Like I remember when I was working in the urgent care clinic, it's like I used to kind of dread cold and flu season because we got like twice as busy than we were in the summer, you know, and it would be like really, really tough work. I would be so exhausted like before my shift was done, and I have to like power through the rest of it. Like 12-hour shifts are no joke. Hopefully you won't have to do as many 12-hour shifts as I had to. Maybe it's just more like 10 hours instead of the usual 8 kind of thing. But be hardy, be resilient. I'm also hearing take care of yourself, okay? So make sure you're sleeping, like prioritizing your rest and getting quality sleep, eating healthy because you're gonna need that energy. So that will help you be more resilient. Kite, vacation, there we go. So it could be that you'll be able to take a vacation once you move through this period of financial constraints and hard work. But right now, it's not vacation time, that's for sure. And what I'm feeling too with the kite is this freeness as it kind of floats through the sky. And so if you put in a lot of hard work now, you'll experience a little bit more financial freedom down the road, and you'll be able to treat yourself, okay? So now is not the time to treat yourself, now's the time to get some work done. Muddled, unclear thinking, okay. So I'm seeing here with this that you're definitely going to have to stay focused, and it's really, really important you take care of yourself. I'm getting that emphasized with this card here because if you're not resting properly, then unfortunately your brain is not going to be functioning as well, right? Like I'm sure you've been there where you have to wake up early or you have to wake up before you feel fully rested and your brain is feeling a bit foggy, right? Like sometimes that's why we turn the alarm off. I know I have like 2 alarms. I used to have 3, oh my goodness. But now I have 2 alarms. And thankfully now I usually wake up before the first alarm, but it's sometimes kind of hard to get out of bed in the morning. But I'm definitely seeing that you have to make sure you take good care of yourself so that you're clear and present during this hard work, because, you know, the more fatigued you get, the more prone it can be to make errors or miscommunicate, things like that. And so that's why it's so important that you have to take that rest. I'm also hearing now too that it would be good for you to spend some time in nature. So after your work shift, if you can go for a walk, maybe like in a park. I think this would be really great for you who have dogs, because you have to take your furry fam out for walks anyway, but try to do so in nature. The thing that I think a lot of people forget, because so many of us live in like cities and towns, is that nature is actually very revitalizing for us human beings. Like, we have to be connected to nature, or else our energy kind of gets depleted a little bit faster, and it's hard to recuperate. So if you can, make an extra effort to go for a short walk in the park. Maybe if possible, go for like a little hike on the weekends or on your day off. I mean, even just like 20-30 minutes would do you a lot of good to just get out, get some fresh air, especially since most people work indoors, you know? And then really just feel that relaxing and soothing energy of a nice walk amongst the trees, amongst the bushes and the plants, and maybe even the streams. Okay, I can't tell you, like, I actually just came back from a walk around my neighborhood, which thankfully has a lot of trees around there. And it felt so good to go for a walk. I felt like I woke up, because I had just been like reading all day long. And I felt like I definitely needed a wake-up call to be able to be, you know, fully functioning and fully alert, and my channel's open to do the reading for you. So I know it can do the same thing for you, for sure. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here. I feel like we can use some more guidance with this financial constraint stuff, because that's not always an easy thing to be disciplined about. Okay, so Knight of Coins. I'm hearing here, slow and steady wins the race, okay? So with this, just like this ox here, it's like it's really putting in that hard work. You know, it kind of reminds me a little bit when I was a kid. My mom would be like, when you get home from school, you have to finish your homework first before you can watch any TV. And then when you're done with your homework, you can only watch 1 hour of TV. And like, she was really strict about that. And so I kind of just got in this habit as I got older to just like get the work done, stay focused for that short time, and then plow through the work, and then I can have free time. And if I finish early, like, I can have even more free time. So I feel like this is really important for you to understand as well, that this is gonna be a bit of a marathon, not a race, okay? This isn't like a 1 week and done. I get the sense that this is more like a several weeks type thing, where you just have to hang in there. I don't get the sense that it's like 3 months. I'm getting the sense like maybe 1 to 2 months at most, but you're really going to have to push through. And you know, this makes me kind of think of some people that I know that are in finance or in business. Like, there are those periods and times of the year where it's like you're going to be really, really busy. But the good news, and you might feel like overworked, right, and do overtime, but the good news is it's gonna be worth it. I mean, if you've been able to reap the benefits in the past of like really hunkering down and working hard for like a month or two, and then taking some time off and getting some really good pay, then you totally get it. That energy is present, and it might even be present to a greater degree than it had been in the past. So we have 10 of Wands here. Yeah, this again is just telling me how important it is for you to get some rest, be in nature. And even though you may feel like death, like you are just fatigued beyond all reasoning, and you feel like you could sleep for like days, just realize that there is something that will blossom and will, like, the fruits of your labor will make it well worth it, okay? And we have the Queen of Swords. So she is a tough bee up in here, okay? So I'm getting the sense here that you're just going to, sorry, I was like trying to receive the message, so it took me a moment. That be very mindful of your mood and your temper. Like, when we're feeling tired, maybe when we're feeling hungry, maybe when we feel like we want to go to sleep, but we can't, we can get a little bit grumpy, and we can say things that we don't really mean. So what I'm hearing is like, keep your eye on the prize here. It's making me think of that Britney Spears song, right? You better work, B. You want a Maserati? Driving a Bugatti? You better work, B. Sipping martinis, right? You want a big mansion? You better work, B. Right? So that's kind of what I'm feeling is like, oh, this is beautiful. Find your anthem. Find your musical anthem, whatever it is that gets you really pumped, gets you going to make it through this tough times. That's beautiful advice. Like for me, We Found Love is one of my like anthems and gets me pumped, makes me want to dance, makes me want to move. It kind of like wakes me back up, reinvigorates me. And so, what is your song? What is your jam that gets you like pumped, that gets you want to keep moving, keep going when you're starting to like lag, right? When you're starting to waver. So find that track for you, okay? Again, the reward is really going to be worth it. I feel like let's get one more card here. Can you give us the clue on the, oh, there we go. Victory, recognition. For some of you, it definitely could mean like a promotion in your future, right? Or some opportunity to make even way more money than you are now. So it's like put in the work and then reap the benefits later on. It could be that if a position comes open for you to advance, like maybe someone retires, someone leaves the company or whatever, like you are going to be at the top of the list for consideration to take this person's place because of the hard work that you put in. Wow, this is amazing. I mean, not the financial constraints and having to record like that, that can be tough. I get it. I totally empathize. But like the rewards though sound really, really promising. So there's your reading, lads. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it a bit inspiring, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the likes and comments and sharing the video with others and allowing the ads to run. I truly appreciate this. This was a general reading. If you're looking for some more personal clarity, you can request a personal reading from me. Just check the description box below to see how to do so. But otherwise, my dears, remember, it's never too late for your happily ever after, all right? You just got to put in a little work before you get to enjoy it. Take care, loves. Well, hello there, group 2, and welcome to your reading to find out what's next in your career. So opening up your reading, we have the 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. So here what I'm seeing is that what's up next in your career is this really important insight, okay? I'm seeing that there's some clear thought here. There's something that you're going to understand on a fundamental level at your work that's going to end up helping you in the long run, okay? I feel like a lot of it might have to do with policies and like understanding almost like the game that's happening at work, okay? It's like, you know, it's going to become very, very clear to you now a clear path to get to your goals, okay? It's like I'm feeling there's this understanding that's coming through. And, you know, the thing is, what I'm hearing is this energy is going to feel very subtle. And you know me, I like to try to hype things up, but I feel like this is not one of those things that you can hype up. It's one of those, like, moments of, like, what is the word? Like epiphany. Yes, it's like an epiphany moment. You know, it's like those little moments when I was seeing patients where I was like, oh, okay, like I finally understand why patients are saying this, why patients are doing this. And then now I can repeat that strategy and that tactic and clear up that misunderstanding long before it creates a problem. Or, okay, now I get it. Now I know how this insurance plan works, so I can make sure to get the patient the medicine that they need, or make sure they're able to see the specialist that they need to see, right? It's like, it's almost like a trick of the trade that you just weren't aware of before. And if you are, you know, an entrepreneur, a business owner, like it could be like a key piece of information to help you know how to market your product better and your services better so you get more clients, more customers. It could be like a better way to streamline your process so that you're more productive, right? So that you can free up more of your time to either rest or to focus on other projects, right? It's about working smart and efficiently. Like that's what I'm seeing here for you. Maybe some of you, like, you know, when I was in medicine, I had to attend conferences regularly to stay up to date with medical practices, right? Like cutting edge research and findings and stuff like that. And so there were times where I was like, oh, okay, like I can help my patients a lot easier, a lot faster by employing these certain techniques or these diagnostics or whatever, right? So it's I feel like, again, you're not gonna quite understand it like when it happens, but it's gonna be this like dawning on you where it's like, oh, I get it now. It's like something is just going to click within you and it's going to make your job so much easier. And because it's so much easier, you're going to be able to advance and work better than you had up until this point. You know, it's kind of like too when I was working with electronic medical records, like as I was learning all these shortcuts to like put information and data into my chart instead of like hand typing it out, like just transfer the data from like lab results into the patient's chart, like that type of thing. Oh my God, I was working so fast. It was like insane. So I feel like this is like a big increase to your efficiency and thereby increasing your productivity, right? Oh, look at this. How appropriate. Organization, purpose, planning, efficiency. Hello, that's what we were just talking about. Now come to me so easily. So what I'm seeing here is for those of you that have these opportunities to network and sort of brainstorm together with other people, swap ideas, that is going to help you a lot. Like, I can't tell you, like, ever since I've been on YouTube, like, I've been watching from all these other content creators, and I've even taken a couple other courses to, like, figure out, like, how can I continue to make my content more accessible, easier to find, more relatable, like things like that. And it's helped so much with growing my channel, on top of having all of you supporting it as well, you know? So it's really this like network for you to talk to other people and help them give you greater insight, right? Like, you know, if you are a manager and you're trying to figure out why there is so much waste within the company, like get out there and talk to the employees, like figure out what they see as like wasteful practices that can help cut some of the losses you may be experiencing, right? And then you can talk to other similar companies and industries to see like, hey, who are you using to help you with this problem, or what strategies or protocols do you have in place to help prevent this or cut this out? And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at how open people are to sharing their knowledge and experience with you. You know, I don't feel this energy of like secretiveness where people are like, oh, I'm not going to share my secrets because I don't want you to do as well as I do. Like, this is a competition. You know, I don't actually sense that vibe. I actually sense here, because there's all these other people in the photo, that people are actually going to want to help you. Like, they're going to be united in your mission and your goal here. So you are going to get help. Purpose, planning, efficiency. Now come to me so easily. And for many of you, this help is going to come from a very unexpected source. So don't hesitate to talk to people if you have that feeling like, I feel like I need to call this person. I feel like I need to email that person. Or, you know, normally I wouldn't ask this, but why not? Let me ask you this question, because I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how positively people are going to react and be willing to help. Okay, butterfly, a change for the better. There you go. Again, is not efficiency a change for the better? Like, now you're doing things with a lot more ease, a lot more speed, a lot less waste, right? And I feel like too, this is going to improve a lot of relationships you have at work, okay, with other people, because, you know, I feel like there's very few things that can bring people together other than a shared problem, right? Like it's united against this problem, this issue, this challenge, and then like working together brings that sense of camaraderie. Okay, so I feel like some workplace relationships are going to change for the better as well. V, victory in some endeavor. What? So you are just really going to be doing so well with this. I feel like there might have been a problem that you've been trying to solve even for quite some time at work. And again, it's just gonna click. And finally, you're going to see the way forward. It's gonna make so much sense to you. And it's gonna be easily incorporated and easily ingrained into your practice. Now, I don't know how easy it is going to be to implement on like a larger scale, right? Like if it's a departmental revision or if it's like a new way of marketing and filming videos or whatever, if you're in social media, like I don't know how easy it's going to be to implement and get rolling, but it's going to lead to some really good things. Like I have no doubt about that. We also have hammock, taking a vacation, physically or mentally. Well, we were just talking about how being more efficient can free up some of your time. So, I mean, it might be that once everything gets going, you'll be able to take some time off here. Once you kind of lay the foundation, lay the groundwork, then, and things get rolling, like you're gonna be able to see, like, you're gonna have a little bit more time to focus on other things like a vacation, all right? And with this taking a vacation physically or mentally, I see too like that things that used to give you such a headache before, they're gonna be so much simpler, so they won't be as frustrating any longer. And I'm getting the sense too, you're gonna probably be in a better mood when it comes to work now, because now you won't be wasting so much of your time with these tasks that you have been able to become more efficient with. Okay, what else do we have here? Six of Wands, another victory card here, okay? So this card also screams to me recognition. Like lately it's been screaming that to me a lot, that being recognized for your hard work, for your contributions. I see too that you're going to be recognized and respected amongst your peers. So that could be the people within your organization, but also people in the organizations that you'll be consulting. Like I feel like more people will get to know you and respect you for the work that you do. And you know, if you're in that business where referrals are really helpful for building your clientele, I'm really sensing that as well, that a lot of the people that you'll be working with to improve this will also refer you and like sing your praises to other people. It's gonna be like one of those things where it's like, oh, what? You need help with your accounting? Like, I know somebody that does really good work, right? Or, oh my gosh, you like this bracelet? Like, I do know somebody who sells this jewelry and I can get you like an inside hookup for some custom made things at a good price, right? Like, I feel like people with this networking is going to give you some sort of, some level of like infamy. You know what I'm saying? So here, Four of Cups, I'm seeing a lot of like bejeweled cups here. Like, look at these fancy cups here. And what I'm seeing here is actually what used to seem so complicated and something that was so beyond you, or like a problem that you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can solve this. I feel like, you know, it's like so daunting. It's like overwhelming and scary. And you're like, oh, is this one of those things I'm just going to have to accept because it's not going to ever get better? Something like that is actually going to feel so much simpler once you figure this out. You have this insight. Okay, so what once seemed to be such a headache, so complex, so detailed that you didn't want to tackle it, is going to end up being quite simple, just like this cup here. Okay, like all these like complications in your mind were just blinding you to the fact that there is actually a relatively simple solution, and it's a lot easier than you thought it was going to be. And here with the Nine of Wands, the word that came through was like danger. So I'm hearing that, yes, there's going to be people that are going to be able to help you, but you need to really be discerning with some of the advice that some people give. Like, you know, whenever you ask for advice from several people, some people's advice is going to be a lot more quality and a lot more helpful than other people's. Do you know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of that, and just be aware that a lot of the things that you're going to brainstorm, a lot of things that you're going to find out and speak with other people about. I mean, some of the things that you're going to get back are going to be kind of useless. Like, let's be honest. Some of the things maybe you've already talked about, or not talked about, thought about trying, and maybe you've already ruled it out. And so just be very mindful of that. Make sure too that whoever you're seeking consultation with, like, they know their stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, don't just ask anybody to help you with some of these things, or help you figure out certain problems. Like, be very particular about who you talk to, okay? Because again, not everyone's going to be helpful in their problem solving with you, but also I get the sense too that maybe some people might use your struggle to their advantage. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it's like, maybe be very careful about how you word things and not make it, even though you're feeling like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming, like, just get it done, like, I'm desperate. Like, do not show that you're feeling desperate to figure this thing out. Okay, whatever the struggle is here. Yeah, I think it's about strategy. That's what I'm really hearing here. Is there some kind of strategy you have to take here, and like, don't show all your cards at once type thing. Okay, like, you're gonna see things clearly, you're gonna see how to make it done, but as you recruit the help to get this done, then just be, you know, very particular about who you let into your space and whose advice you take, all right? And whose help you accept. Yeah. Ooh, I didn't mean to end it on such a foreboding note, but it's more kind of like a warning and like a heads up. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you really found this helpful, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the support, all the loves and the likes and the comments and the shares. And this was a general reading. If you need a little bit more personalized insight, then take a look at the description box down below to see how you can request a personal reading from me. But otherwise, remember, loves, it's never too late for your happily ever after, and things will get a lot easier for you very soon. Take care. Aloha, Group 3. Welcome to your reading to find out what's up next in your career. So, to start everything off, you have the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. So with this card, this is all about like intuition and divine inspiration. So I'm getting the sense that in your career here, what's coming up is like this brilliant creative idea, this inspiration for like a new project, maybe a new way to run things, a new way to handle things, a new way to make things, whatever it is going to be coming your way. And it's going to inspire a lot of energy and a lot of passion back into your career and your work and the things you do. I hear for some of you, yes, it might come through as a dream or just like sort of like one of those aha moments, like a light bulb going off in your head. But for others of you too, I feel like something is going to be said by a mentor of yours, someone that is here to guide and instruct you and help you with your personal journey and you evolving when it comes to your profession, your career. So kudos if you already have a mentor of sorts, because they're going to share something with you that's really going to change the game for you. Like, I'm definitely sensing the energy coming through for your reading is game changer here. Like, something is going to definitely take everything in your career, in your work, to the next level. So let's get some ideas to what all that is, okay? Oh my gosh, imagination. We were just talking about like dreams and stuff. Imagination now sets me free. Divine ones, I send my thanks to thee. So I'm getting the sense here that when it comes to your career, like right now, it's a great time to start dreaming of like what all could be possible for you in your career with your business. Like, what are the heights that you are really truly looking towards, like genuinely? So I'm not saying like reduce it down to simple like numbers where it's like, oh, I want my company to make $1 million this year, or like whatever. I wouldn't really focus so much on that, because this is more divine inspiration, divine energy, right? And imagination like doesn't really stem from concrete numbers. Do you know what I'm saying? So focus more on like what kind of impact you want to make in your career to other people, to society, what type of impact you want to make with your business, right? Like, how is it really going to better people's lives? How is it that you're going to help people with the work that you do, or serve other people, or create a better product that will make other people's lives easier, right? So I really feel like focusing more on that energy and imagining on like what type of positive impact you'll have on the people that are affected directly by your career, your work, your business. Okay, so dream that up, you know? Like for myself, when I first started doing tarot readings, like I was like, okay, this is like easy for me to do tarot readings, because I feel comfortable reading the cards. I feel comfortable channeling messages. Like, it comes off relatively easy to me. But then what I realized as I started doing the readings was that the readings have been a source of inspiration for me. When I watched pick a card readings before, a source of inspiration, a source of hope, and a source of sort of quieting any negative thoughts and negative beliefs that I had, or sort of pessimism that was within me, because of the tarot readers that I watched online. And that really was like my aha moment for me, where it's like, oh my gosh, my readings, I want them to do the same thing. My intention with my readings is to provide hope, optimism, stimulate people's imagination and ability to dream of achieving what they want, right? And be very truthful with the messages as well, not just focus on like false platitudes, but really like inspire people, even when the cards might not say something that sounds easy or fun. So think about that, all right? So think of how what the work you do can have a positive impact on other people's lives. Like, what is that positive impact? Like, be specific about that part, all right? Because wealth and abundance do find their way to you through the channel of work, career, and your business, right? Like, that's obvious. But what really takes it to the next level is this heart-centeredness, okay? Where it's like you can have these ideas, but what's in your heart? Are you being true to your heart? Is your heart like giving and magnanimous, or is your heart like greedy and selfish, you know? And when your heart has more energies of greediness and selfishness, then that won't open up the channel to abundance. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I know I need to remind myself of that at times too, because sometimes when it's like, I gotta make money to pay the bills, it's very easy to kind of get sucked back into your own problems and your own worries, you know? So what else? Bo, you are highly thought of. Ooh, I love it. So I'm sensing here that people are seeing potential in you, right? Especially your mentor. They think highly of you. They think you can achieve a lot of things. They think you have a lot of potential to go far, go the distance. And, you know, if any good mentor is worth their weight in gold, it's like they believe that their student, their mentee can surpass them. So I'm seeing that there's a lot of faith in you by your mentor. But also for others of you, I really feel like I'm getting this like faith in you from the universe itself, right? That like you were brought here for a reason, and there's this faith that you can fulfill that reason and do so beautifully. Spear. Heartache over what you no longer have. Oh my gosh, you know, I don't even know if I've ever seen this card before. since I've had this deck. I mean, it's a pretty thick deck. Like, I don't even know if I've gone through every single card in this deck, to be honest with you. But I don't recall ever seeing this card in a reading in the past. Heartache over what you no longer have. Ooh. There's something about naivety that's coming through. You know, it's like one of those things as you evolve and you grow, it's like you can't unlearn things. You can't unknow things, even certain uncomfortable truths. But we'll pull some tarot cards here in a moment to get some more clarity on this. Elephant. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. Bam! There you go. I think this goes quite beautifully with what we were just talking about. So I'm going to put that up here so we can get more clarity on this card in a moment. But I'm seeing here that you are growing wiser. You are learning. Again, this inspiration, this knowledge from, you know, the divine and or from your mentor is really going to increase your wisdom in your craft, okay? And this is a long time coming, okay? I get the sense that you've been working really hard at what you've been doing. Like, I'm sensing for many of you, like, years, right? Where it's just like training, 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 training. And then you are entering a phase where you're starting to become a master at what you do. You know, it's kind of reminded me of like when I first started practicing medicine, like right out of school. Like the first couple of years, it was like really challenging because it's one thing to like study medicine and read about it, and it's another to like put it to use, you know? So it was a lot of practicing, like practicing not just like applying the knowledge that I learned, but like practicing speaking with people, practicing empathy and compassion, and making sure that I'm giving the right amount, where I'm not sort of like commiserating with my patient, where now I'm not being helpful, but I'm also not being like indifferent to them, you know, like finding that balance, charting my notes, speaking with other providers, and getting them involved with my patient's care, right? Managing that work-life balance, like all of these things I was like learning. And then when I moved to my second job in urgent care, I had to kind of go through that process again until finally everything just became really easy for me, you know, to the point where it's like I could sleep while doing it almost, right? So I feel like that's kind of where you're at. You're approaching this master status at your craft, at your abilities here, okay? Beautiful, beautiful. And this is kind of the key to taking it to that next level. It's, you know, it's like a scalability of a business for those of you that are business owners, right? It's like you're working through the nitty gritty, the little details of owning your business at first. Trust me, I can relate to that. It's like quite a lot to take in. And then once you kind of have all of these foundations laid well, and you've had a chance and a handle at experimenting and exploring with them until you find a flow that's right for you, then it's like scale it up, get more clients, have greater reach, you know, those types of things. So I feel like that's where you're headed. Master status. Okay, you better work. Okay, heartache over what you no longer have. What is that about? I heard the word naivety coming through. So, you know, sometimes people, you know, when you approach a job or profession, it's like you don't really know some of the sacrifices that are made at times for your work and your craft, or some of the pitfalls of it until you're like deep in it. So I wonder if that's part of it, but let me not keep guessing and speculating. Okay, I'm hearing spirit is like grab 3 more cards, so 4 total. I'm telling you, group 3, some way you always be getting an extra card for your readings. That doesn't mean if you don't routinely feel drawn to group 3 that you should just pick it anyway. Like, trust your gut, okay, loves, because sometimes more isn't better. So, oh my god, the Knight of Coins. This card has been coming out like crazy the past few days. It actually came out with another reading today. I think it was group 1. So we have Knight of Coins again, but for you. So we'll see what that means in this context here. Knight of Cups, 5 of Wands, and the Fool. Okay, so I'm getting the sense here that with this divine inspiration, this insight here, that some truth is going to be revealed to you that has its pros and its cons. Okay. There are going to be some things that are going to be a bit conflicting with your nature here, that are going to be uncomfortable truths that you're going to have to accept and embrace. I'm feeling like there might be a war between doing what's right for the business here with the Knight of Coins, like, right, like expanding wealth, expanding abundance, versus what you feel in your heart to be true for you, right? It could have to do with ethics or morals or whatever. And so I feel like there's going to be this conflict here about what the business needs, what your work, what your career needs versus what your personal feelings are about it. So I feel like maybe an example would be helpful here. And let me just say too, this is part of what it means to be a master, right? A master at something. It's like you see it all now. The good, the bad, the ugly. Like you see it all, okay? And you're not naive anymore on like, oh, everything's gonna work out great. We're all a team here. And like, you know, you're gonna have to face some harsh truths that sometimes people that you work with are gonna be gossips and they're gonna talk smack about you. Sometimes people that you work with are going to want to compete with you and be jealous and try to undermine you or sabotage your efforts. Sometimes, you know, you're gonna have to realize that people aren't need to be fired because they're not a good fit, right? Like there's some harsh truths that are going to have to be accepted in this process as well. And maybe you'll feel a bit foolish for believing it, but honestly, I think that's just that purity of your essence and your spirit. And that shouldn't be shamed like at all. You know, it kind of reminded me, I feel like really called to tell a lot of stories for today's readings. Hope you don't mind. But when I first left medicine, like I had this idea in my head that I was really going to help people, that I was going to help people get the treatment that they need. But when I got into the real world, it's like here in the US, like certain insurances won't pay for certain medicines or treatments. And then I was like, what? What am I supposed to do then? Right? It's like I still need to help them somehow. That's like what's good for the business. But like my hands are held behind my back and I feel really bad because I have to prescribe like a treatment that I know isn't as great as the one that I want to, because that's not how the business of medicine works in the US, right? And so I had to come to terms with that, you know, it's not an ideal world where I have tons of money that I could spend on behalf of my patients to get them MRIs and get them the latest medications for their conditions and stuff like that. Like I had to sort of let that naivety go. Okay, and maybe that's what this heartache is over what you no longer have. Like you're seeing the truth and you're not able to hide behind illusions and fantasy and like in a perfect world sort of mentality. Okay, like there's some real stuff coming through here about what you do and how people interact with you and like the system. That's what I'm hearing. There's going to be some harsh realities in understanding the system of whatever your profession is. Okay, that not everything is perfect, and nor should it be. That's just not how the way the world works. You know, like no system is perfect. Every system has its faults. So you're going to be made aware of that as a master now in your profession and your skill. But don't let it discourage you, okay? Like I had to find some workarounds. I had to come to peace and find my way through this so that I can go to sleep at night, so that I could still feel good about the work that I'm doing. And it's important that you feel the same because you are here to make a big contribution, right? Again, you're highly thought of. You're going to do great and beautiful things. And part of the journey is realizing some uncomfortable truths, but I trust you'll be able to handle them. All right. So I hope you really got something out of this reading and it helped you, because it was like really helpful for me as well, to be honest with you. So thank you for allowing me to do this reading for you. And thank you so much for supporting my channel with the views, the likes, the comments, the shares, letting the ads run. All of those things go such a long way to helping my channel grow and helping to continue making content. Now, this was a general reading. If if you need a little bit more personalized information and clarification, just see the description box down below to see how you can request a personalized reading from yours truly, Ryan, and I'm happy to discuss that with you. But otherwise, remember, it's never too late for your happily ever after. Take care, loves.